Hi, I'm Celina. I'm a graphic communication major and I'm a second year.
Hi, my name is Celestine. I am a second year computer engineering major from Dublin, California.
Hi, my name is Rafael Santiago. Everyone calls me Rafi. I'm a third year electrical engineer.
Hi, my name is Zen. I'm a first year computer science major.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you know, it's about mental health, so have you ever had a conversation about mental health?
Yes, I have. I've gone to the health center here and I've talked to mental health people there and like just with friends. Yeah.
I've had conversations about mental health in classes, but they're not as in depth, and I haven't really had any mental health conversations with my close family.
Do you think gender may play a role in mental health, but also having a conversation about mental health?
I think everyone, regardless of gender, has their own issues that they have within themselves and their insecurities that they think about. But definitely, as a woman in STEM, I definitely have those doubts. It definitely was in the back of my head, I'm one of only 5 girls in my class. Does that play a role in why I'm not doing well? You feel like, what if maybe I'm inadequate because I'm female? But I think for me it's less of that, but it's still definitely there in the back of my mind.
I don't know personally because I haven't talked to guys about mental health, but I know for girls there's definitely more issues that they touch upon, like eating disorders. Not to say guys don't, but it's more common in girls.
Yeah, I think being male, there's always been stigma against speaking about feelings and emotions.
They're known to hide their emotions and stuff, and for girls, they can easily talk to another friend that's a girl and not have it be weird.
Especially, they always say it's oh, you have to be strong when you're a man. You can't cry. You can't be weak. You can't be vulnerable. You always have to be the one that has to just stick it out. And I guess that forces people, a lot of males, to just close up and bottle their emotions. And sometimes it just turns into something bad, like a sudden release of anger if you bottle up all those emotions.
I think just growing up in the Asian community, we're told not to talk about our feelings very openly. We're just we suppress it, don't talk about it, and then they're just get over it, it's fine.
There's a big stigma around it. They say, oh, sira ulo, or you're just maarte. It's just they're framing you as this broken person.
There's kind of this idea that you can turn off your feelings with a switch, turn it on and off. Asian cultures in general, we kind of suppress, right? We're trying not to inflict our negative feelings upon others.
Because again, we are pretty family oriented, but sometimes when it gets to really deep stuff, we kind of all mask it in a way.
So we just pretend to be okay, we just pretend to be happy. We're not really expressive.
We just stick up, you don't have to talk about it, it's fine, it's nothing, everyone has these problems.
A lot of Filipinos, they don't want to shame their family. They don't want to be, they don't want to be the one that brings the whole family down, I guess. If I tell them that I'm broken, then they're going to be labeled as that, parents that raised a kid wrong, I guess. What a lot of Filipinos end up thinking is oh, there's something wrong with me, or it's my fault. But they don't realize it's something that you could get help for and get support for. I think it's just, we have to change the stigma around it.
But it started affecting my life more in college, just because I'm adjusting to school and just my friends, and everything's changing.
It's something that everyone goes through when they go to college or just go to any new environment.
I feel I'm a pretty shy, quiet person, and it was really hard for me to make friends. And in junior year, I finally had a really good group of friends.
Most of first year, a lot of people would be oh, Cal Poly, it's slow. And I always thought that was kind of cringy. And I was like, this is not home.
Like I said, so for me, it kind of started in college and more specifically like winter quarter. I know everyone was like, oh yeah, winter quarter is so tough, blah, blah, blah. But I was like it's a bunch of things put together, problems with my roommate, problems with schoolwork. Like I was missing home and then like everything put together, like it started building up.
Again, like when I was in junior year, like I had a really hard time with my friends and like a time where like I really felt alone or like separate from like, just like with all the other things going around me, like with school and like at home and like with myself, like I also like started to feel like distant from my friends.
And when you move to a new place, it's very hard to fit in, and it's very lonely. Loneliness is a very big factor in mental health. I think the first time mental health affected me, I didn't even know what it was. I realized that I was gay like pretty early on. My like sexuality was something that I struggled with a lot, and I didn't know how to deal with it, and it's something that I couldn't talk about, not just because it was like a mental health issue, but also because it was like there's a stigma against it.
Like 357 and the constant, like you keep getting zeros, just like how the class is structured. In order to be eligible for any credit, you have to pass all of like the core tests. So if there's one, like you missed a space, or there's one little bug that you didn't account for, you get a 0. But because of that, I kept getting zeros constantly, and it was just like the cycle of Thursday 11 p.m. get a 0, Friday 11 p.m. like hours of debugging, hours of coding, fixing it, and another 0, and it was just it just beat me down so much, and that was all I was doing. I forgot to eat sometimes, forgot to sleep.
I don't know, it's like a feeling, like you're like, oh, I've never felt this before, and then I was like, okay, I need to like, and I didn't want to go to like my friends because like, oh, I don't want to burden them with my problems, but I know it's like not a good feeling, and I want to like get better, so that's why I went to like talk to people like at the health center or at Pulse.
So being from a religious family, from a Catholic family, I was taught that it was wrong. And I wanted to fix myself like so bad. Like in middle school, like it's like, oh, you can pray it away. It's like, okay. Like I tried that. Like people don't understand. Like people like who bash on like LGBTQ plus, like, oh, pray it away, or like they blame them for being gay. It's like, I didn't want to be gay. And I wanted to get it out so bad. And like eventually I realized it's like, oh, it's not going away. So like I actually like remember just praying to God. It's like, okay, you're not gonna make it go away. Then at least like just give me someone to help me with this, because I can't do this.
I don't know, I need to think about this.
It's a tough conversation.
I feel like crying and being sad was just kind of like a thing that was a part of life, and like it was just like gonna happen. But
I think in a way 357 was a blessing, because I've never really talked about my mental health, just like what I've been thinking, all the issues I have in my mind with my parents.
I guess I feel like I never like really thought of like going to a counselor, like, oh, what does that do? Like therapy, like that's for like crazy people, or like what are they gonna do? Like they're paid to listen to you. And I guess like when my counselor went up to me and talked to me, like that really helped me and kind of showed me that I could like talk to other people.
I would like keep everything to myself. I'm like, oh, I don't want to burden people. Like I'm gonna keep it to myself. I don't want to like, I don't know. I just didn't want to tell anyone, you know. So they were like, oh, like just come to us more. Like if you want to talk to someone, and if you don't want to talk to someone, just like write it down, write whatever down. And they like gave me like little tips and advice to like. So they're like, let's find the source of the problem. Why are you feeling anxious? Why are you feeling like this way? For example, I was anxious because like I didn't have time to do everything, or I don't know, like time, and then just like everything was like a mess. So they're like, oh, like maybe if you scheduled your life a bit more, like you'd be less stressed out or something like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because I wasn't
Sometimes what I like to do is I like to write out everything that I'm like worried about. Sometimes they're just all up here, and it helps to just bring them down there.
But it's very personalized, so I can't say like, oh, if you do this, you'll be fine. It's like you have to find the source of your problem and you have to fix it.
Other times I like to, I just like to go to church. I think just praying, just be really quiet and in that really sacred place. Even like my apartment is full of PCE people, right, wherever you go on campus, there's not really that one quiet place. So whenever I go to church, I really appreciate that time to just kind of pause and reflect. I like my little speed bumps throughout my week, just kind of pause. And I think definitely talking to people, like you don't have to tell everyone all of your problems, but finding those few people who can really resonate with you. Like I talk to my mom, I'll talk to my ate especially.
Coming out to friends, just like, that's where, those were the times of my life where there was this heavy emotion that was moving me. And it still moves me whenever I think about it. There's a lot of LGBTQ plus kids that have to go through this. I get riled up because it's like there's so many kids out there that's going through this and they don't know where to go. They don't know who to talk to. It's like, how are there so many kids that go through this and some kids don't make it? And so I guess it's like, that's why I've actually been like trying to think of ways to, I guess, help not just my friends, not just my family, not just like my community, but like everyone, because it's something that I know, it's something that I struggled with, that I know like other people are struggling with right now. And I want to help. I've definitely found my support system in Cal Poly, and PCE is a big part of it. Emotional support, that's very important with keeping your mental health.
Just making sure that someone knows what you're going through, so when you do walk into that room and you're not okay, they can kind of identify like, oh, they're feeling this way, like what can we do to help them out, and then vice versa as well. So you get to know when they're feeling down as well, and you help each other.
How, I mean, you have talked about your feelings before, but how did that feel to talk about mental health in such like an open discussion?
I think it was very refreshing just because I've never done that.
It feels relieving. Mental health for most people is not like, it's not a pretty thing to talk about.
Sharing your experiences is always nice because you really connect with the people around you. I connect with you and I connect with you.
People feel more connected when they realize it's like, oh, everyone's going through this in one way or the other.
If I'm walking down the street and I'm feeling sad, like you know where I'm coming from, you know a little bit more of my story.
People think they can't get help, or people think that they're alone in this. Just making it known that there is help is why talking about mental health is important.
Learning about someone's story, you might learn about ways to cope with an issue that you're having with yourself, or maybe you've dealt with that issue already and you can help that other person too. There's just a lot to be gained from sharing and discussing rather than just saying close off and assuming things from one another.
Like once again, like I think a lot of people aren't very educated. It's not just the person with the mental health issue, it's like the people surrounding them. We all just don't know what to do, how to react, and I think it's why we need to be more aware of it, and we need to know more about it so we actually know how to react in these situations.
What is something, one thing, anything you'd like PCE to learn from your story?
I want PCE members to know that they're not alone and that they matter.
The topic of mental health is and will always be relevant.
It's important. It affects everyone. Like, no matter if you're healthy or not healthy, like mentally, you should still like take care of yourself.
It's not always like gonna be easy, like it's not always gonna be like, you're not always gonna be sad, and then once you're happy, it's not gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be happy forever.
No matter what you're feeling, you're like, is this a mental health issue? Like, is it worth, like, you know how everyone's like, oh, everyone's depressed, everyone's stressed, whatever. Like, don't belittle your problem. Like, if you think it is a problem, it is a problem. And if you need help, seek it.
All your feelings are valid, and just like let yourself process them and feel it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really what I was gonna say.